show me a time in history when we ever had the opportunity to prove it, okay? And I could prove it with sound money, but they won't give us any appreciable amount of time with sound money, because if they did, everybody would say, "Oh, I get it now. Don't touch that checks and balances. No, 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 no. Don't touch that accountability. Oh no, don't touch the oversight by we the people." Okay, the society at large, the collective, the civilization, we decide our financial destiny. And if we want less burden, less taxation, and greater worth to our currency to be a long, steady trajectory as a means to an end, to where we don't even care about money anymore. We've all got so much, and it's all worth so much. We serve one another. It all works fine. But they won't let that theory be played out. They won't let it be come to fruition, because they too know these things. And in order for them to stay on top, they've got to keep the problems going, as if we're all just born deranged. Like, oh, they don't know that guy's a criminal, or that's a weak link, social Darwinism. See, it's all buying into that. Oh, it's okay to accept ever-growing competition and all this, and they keep raising the bar, and if you work hard enough, you can succeed. Well, it's just getting harder and harder, and we're supposed to accept that? That's like accepting tyranny. That's what it is. It's social Darwinian economic tyranny. In fact, that would be a good title for this video. I don't know, but if I don't write it down, I'll probably forget it. Social Darwinian economic tyranny, okay? We should not accept it. And, standing in his face, and that's what I do. That's all I do by making these. I say, you know what, I got to get this off my chest. Nobody's talking about it out there, not enough people, about what it's really going to take. Like I said last video, we've got to seize the Federal Reserve Bank. We got to go out there and say, you know something? You're doing business in America, but we're finding all these reasons to believe that you've been underhanded and you've been selling out the best interests of American people because of political interests. But those politicians were hired by the people. The people are paying their salaries. So this is not okay. Just like other salaries. I mean, we talk about these people doing these jobs. I mean, the arts, albeit sports and, theater and singing and music and all this stuff. But these jobs just are not that important. And we're all paying for it. You understand that? All the advertisers out there, all the products that you would still buy. You're going to still buy your Ford or your Chevy or your Dodge, right? Your Toyota. Okay, you're still going to buy your Honda. Okay, whatever. You're still going to buy your Old Spice deodorant, whatever kind of brand you buy, or your toothpaste. But yet you got to pay for the ads. You're still going to drink their beer. You're still going to wear their clothes or whatever. The insurance, you still got to buy insurance, right? By law, you got to have car insurance in America. So that just adds on to the tab, right? That's part of your insurance bill, is because you're paying for the advertising. You understand how this works? I mean, let's not be stupid here, and how this whole thing works and how it's made not to work. So the wheels are falling off the bandwagon. What is their answer? Let's see. Let's just slap some more grease on there. So, all you people out there, just give yourself pay raises. Make sure your numbers are going up faster than the worth is going down through cost of living inflation, which taxes are included in that. It's all a tax. Let's be very clear. Cost of living and tax is just, let's conflate that into just one glob, okay? Because that's essentially what it is. And it's a chain reaction thing. One thing leads to another. So all these people need to do was to attach themselves to one commodity that we couldn't get away from. And in this case, we're talking about housing. This is what they've manipulated sorely to the nth degree as a means to an end. As their end is just a perpetual oppression, perpetual growing oppression, tyranny through financial enslavement. Okay, that's what it all comes down to. Financial enslavement. And it conjures up all these feelings. We can't enjoy our stinking little lives because we're all obsessed and we're distracted with bucks, man. Hey, I got this expense. I got that expense. I got to get money in my bank account. Oh, I got to pay this bill, that. Oh, no, this. Oh, gee, it's like running in the sand. And I mean, they just keep on throwing more loose sand in there. This is the grease on the wheels. We got to keep killing people. We got to keep, causing these problems. But they know it's all hitting the fan. And every nation is different where they try to get away with this mass oppression. Take it, as far as they can. They're just going to push the envelope. And people have to demand justice. They have to say, no, I have a right to survive. Okay? And whatever that takes, I'm going to do it. We all have a right. No, we have an obligation too. We have an obligation to our children, to their children, okay, to the next generation, to stand up against this and say, you know something? The buck stops here, okay? We're going to replace the bearings in those wheels right now, okay? We want checks and balances. We want oversight. We want accountability. We, the people, want to get our way, okay? That's it. And what is best for all of us? And you're not going to keep us divided by race, gender, political affiliation, class, conservative, liberal, socialist, capitalist. You're not going to pull that crap because we're on the side of humanity. We'll let everybody be individuals. That's a given. That's just the state of affairs, individuality. But equality is a whole nother thing. And if we want equal rights, we've got to demand equal rights. And this is the way to do it. You stand up to everybody you know, friend, foe, stranger, acquaintance, whoever you come into contact with, educate them about what's going on and how that this illegitimate gaggle of merciless thugs, this Illuminati class, New World Order, and this whole cabal and their ilk, all these people stay on top because they're willing to do things that we're not. They're willing to murder, okay, or to pay to have people murdered. That's how they stay on top. Anybody that gets in their way, they mow you down because they don't have value for their conscience, and their fruits bear that fact out. So it's not like I'm just spewing out rhetoric here. The evidence is their fruits are rotten. They stink to high heaven. They've abandoned their conscience. They've abandoned their honor. They've abandoned their integrity. They don't fear God. They don't revere God. They don't understand that they're owned. It is not your life. It is God's life. Okay, unless you created yourself, it's not your life or anybody else. It's not my life. It belongs to Him. Okay, if He wants me dead or anybody else dead, He can make me dead. Boom. What kind of a miracle is that for God? And it's been proven in Scripture that He has that ability. So anyhow, hang on here. Got to get a drink of water. Understand that they keep selling us digression as progression. We've got to understand that everything is topsy-turvy. It's 180 degrees different from what's being spewed out from the top. That's where all our policies emanate, the crap coming out of the mainstream media, and the lack of stuff they should be talking about. You know, just for a second, I want to talk about a few of the solutions to the national debt because, you know, pointing out the problems is one thing, but pointing out that there's solutions is another thing. And, of course, sound money would be the most effective way to solve our problem, to say, stop it, we're replacing the wheel bearings, and we're going to reset this thing, we're going to have oversight. But the national debt, you know, one of the ways that you could do it, since it is illegitimate, all this debt is something that we the people really didn't get a chance to sign off on. These criminal politicians, they're the ones that signed off on this debt. They legitimized it, they validated it, they rubber stamped whatever the Federal Reserve wanted, the money printing class that has this copyright. I mean, how absurd is that? The power, that satanic power that they have, that we the people don't have, okay? And it ought not be that way. It ought to be the power of God, you know, that gives great prosperity to the people and that frees us from money entirely, since this whole idea of advantage, you know, advantaged and disadvantaged is, you know, not in our vocabulary anymore. It's a paradigm of the past. We could have that. But, you know, we could claim bankruptcy, but what does bankruptcy mean? It means, hey, dude, I'm out of money. You know, sue me, but I've got legal protection here, and we're resetting it. We're saying all these criminals, they're all done with. We've incarcerated them, or, you know, we've taken their stuff because, you know, they stole the wealth. But, you know, one way or another, you know, we can do a bankruptcy and, you know, just admit all it means is that we're out of money, okay? That's all it's saying. You know, do what Iceland did. And then, you know, and then we've got to incarcerate some of these people, just the way it is. At least put them in ethics rehabilitation centers and teach them the golden rule and why it's wrong to screw people over and to steal the wealth of a nation for, you know, perpetual generations to come. You know, the reasons we are all born into this system, and we all have laws that we have to abide by. Okay, and the man of lawlessness, the real man of lawlessness, is being revealed out there, and it ain't the typical Joe. It ain't your average Joe. Okay, it is these people. It's not even most of the guys in the jail system. I mean, for stupid drug offenses and stuff that shouldn't even be illegal, to do what they want with their bodies, as long as they're not driving and endangering the public or something. I mean, it's other. If the people want to eat rat poison, that's their business. They can die and do that. But we're not taught anything basically about why it's wrong to do these things. We're not taught about ethics, and you know, in the higher, particularly higher education system, they're not being taught this stuff, to value this stuff. What do we expect? This is what they're spewing out. They're turning out all this criminal, corrupt class out there, and then we're being relegated into their image and likeness. And that's why, you know, we've got so many issues as just regular human beings, and we want to look at oh, maybe it's us and something, our behavior, and you know, we shouldn't do that or that. You're thinking wrong here or there, and it's all about you, and